Hello, this is Craig Brailsford with RedChip Companies. Thank you for joining today's event with Jackpot Digital, which trades on the OTCQB under the ticker JPOTF, on the TSX Venture Exchange under the ticker JJ, and on the Frankfurt Stock Exchange under the ticker LVH3. With us today, we have President and CEO Jake Kalpakian and VP of Corporate Development Matthew McDonald. We will begin with a brief presentation in a moment, and then we will answer your questions. Users may submit a question at any time by using the Q&A tool at the bottom of the Zoom window. Before we begin, please allow me to read the Safe Harbor Statement. This call may contain forward-looking statements within the meaning of the Private Securities Litigation Reform Act of 1995. All statements pertaining to future financial and/or operating results, along with other statements about the future expectations, beliefs, goals, plans, or prospects expressed by management, constitute forward-looking statements. Any statements that are not historical fact should also be considered forward-looking statements. Of course, forward-looking statements involve risks and uncertainties. I now turn this webinar over to Jake and Matt. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Craig. On behalf of Jackpot Digital, I'd like to welcome everyone to our webinar. We're very excited to present our company. It's not every day that one can invest in a company that's the #1 leader in its space globally. In fact, we have a very unique global opportunity in front of us with a product that simply time has come. Well, you've heard of smartphones, but we're going to introduce you to what we call a smart table disguised as a poker table. We're very excited about our own developed Jackpot Blitz electronic dealerless poker table. We feel this product is not only the future, but its time has come now, and we're seeing enormous demand for the product. As I said, the Jackpot Blitz has been marries many different exciting aspects of investment. It's AI before it was AI, it's technology, it's gaming, it's recurring revenue, and most of all, a very bright future with a moat that's building around the business. In a moment, we're going to explain more about our company and our product and why we're so excited, but we'll take you step by step on our genesis on how we got here very quickly. Jackpot Digital got into the electronic dealers table business in 2015, and since then has been revamping the product and evolving the product. You saw the legal disclaimer. You please refer to it on our website and on any marketing material. It has been discussed, so we'll just skip it. So we talk about positive technology disruption in any industry. Well, we believe we've built that in our company with the Jackpot Blitz table. If I asked a business owner, how would you like to increase your revenue, decrease your expenses, and eliminate your HR staff? Anyone would say who owns a business would jump at that opportunity. And our product, the Jackpot Blitz dealerless electronic poker table, does exactly that for poker rooms around the world. Not only is it beneficial for the operator, the casino, but it's also advantageous for the players. And this is very important because it's very important to win the hearts and minds of the poker player so that the product is adopted. And with improved technology and many other positive attributes, that's what we're seeing in the marketplace right now. Our Jackpot Blitz table is a stunning interface that allows people to play poker against each other, like as in traditional poker, without a dealer. It has more hands per hour and many more side bets and other games to engage and stimulate the players. Next slide, please, Matt.
Okay. Thank you, Jake. So I'm going to speak briefly, ladies and gentlemen, about what we exactly produce and what we do for the market. For those uninitiated in the casino space, I'd like to introduce you to a type of product in casinos called an ETG, and that's short for electronic table game. Essentially, casinos have been always trying to automate their processes. And if you go back to the 1950s and 60s, the introduction of the slot machine was the first example of a casino automating the betting function. And essentially, casinos have, in many cases, have saturated their market. They know they've got customers. They're very busy. What most casinos today are more focused on than acquiring customers is actually maximizing their operational efficiencies by reducing costs. So slot machines was the first iteration of that. And fast forward to today, electronic table games is the latest iteration of trying to maximize operational efficiencies and reduce labor costs. ETGs essentially allow casinos to offer table games such as blackjack or baccarat or craps or roulette, or in our case, poker, at a much lower cost to the casino, and still being able to offer their players an exciting, fast, action-packed game. You can see the market for ETGs is absolutely exploding. And just to give you an example, if you'd have walked into a Las Vegas casino about 10 years ago, you might have seen one ETG on the floor tucked into the back as an experimental machine to see how customers like it. Fast forward to today, and you can walk into, for example, Paris, Las Vegas, or the Venetian, or many other casinos in Las Vegas and elsewhere throughout the United States and the world. And ETGs are creeping up into sometimes a third, a half, or in many cases, the entire casino floor, just simply because of the action that it gives players and the cost savings that it gives to casinos. This is a hugely growing market. You can see right now the market is valued, or as of 2023, valued at 3.7 billion, but it's projected to reach 7.5 billion by 2032. And there are a lot of benefits to an ETG, an electronic table game. ETGs operate with zero errors. There's always fair gameplay. Casinos can also track what players are doing on these machines versus what they would do on a live table, for example. Faster gameplay, lower costs. It's just a win-win for players and for casinos. And we make a very unique type of ETG that really nobody else in the casino space makes. And as Jake said, we basically have a moat and we basically own this part of the ETG market all to ourselves. Now, Jackpot Digital is actually a fairly small company at this time, but that's not to say that we don't have some interest from some very large customers. Because of the uniqueness of what we do and the problem we solve, we've been able to attract partnerships with some of the biggest casino operators on planet Earth, and that includes Carnival Cruises. We have a master deal with PENN Entertainment. That's the largest regional casino operator in the United States with 43 properties in 20 different states. And we've done very well as well with tribal casinos, which is actually a very large segment of the casino market in the United States. Many people are not aware that tribal casinos make up about 45% of the overall revenue in the United States casino business. And as I say, we've been very successful in gaining partnerships with tribal casinos throughout the United States. So a small company attracting blue chip interest in the problem that we solve. And I'm not going to hesitate any further. I'd like to share with you now Jackpot Blitz, which is an electronic table game that solves a serious problem in the poker market. And who better to introduce this product than Coach Jimmy Johnson, two-time Super Bowl winner. Let's watch a quick video and then we'll resume the presentation.
Jimmy Johnson here. I've coached championship teams in college and pro football, so I know a thing or two about winning. That's why I've joined up with another winner, Jackpot Digital. This company has already revolutionized the casino gaming industry with their dealerless electronic poker tables, and now they're at it again. Introducing the new Jackpot Blitz, a state-of-the-art electronic poker table that offers the ultimate user experience for players and boosts revenue, controls costs, eliminates staffing headaches, and improves the bottom line for casinos. For players, the Jackpot Blitz has a top-of-the-line 4K ultra-sensitive touchscreen with incredible card-bending technology that replicates actual card play. It offers real-time tracking of player stats, bankrolls, player bonuses, and much more. The Jackpot Blitz has easy ways to buy in with cash or player cards at every single seat. Plus, it's got a place to put your drink or other stuff if you need it. As a coach, I hated penalties. Well, no delay of game with Jackpot Blitz. This table deals more poker hands per hour than any product on the market. Jackpot Blitz allows casinos to operate automated poker tournaments of all types, saving time and money. You can run tournaments non-stop, 24/7. With no dealer mistakes or disputes, the Jackpot Blitz has become known as the friendly table. It's more fun for all. Players can make poker side bets or audible to an ever-increasing library of casino games, including baccarat, blackjack, and video poker. The Jackpot Blitz also offers a bad beat progressive jackpot. Give players what they want, more action and more fun. So don't fold the winning hand. I'm all in with the Jackpot Blitz, and you should be too.
All right, so Coach Jimmy Johnson introducing the amazing Jackpot Blitz. And I think a good place to segue here is to talk about the problem that Jackpot Blitz solves for casinos. And we call it here, sort of affectionately internally at Jackpot Digital, the poker problem. And I want to outline, you can read those bullet points if you like. I want to outline, just using an anecdote, the problem that we solve. We took this product after the pandemic down to Global Gaming Expo in Las Vegas. It's the largest gaming show in North America, once a year, huge show. We took this product down, and up until that point, we were really kind of going along as a product that was doing very well on cruise ships. You saw we've got partnerships with Carnival Cruises as an example, which is a great testing ground to have this product because there's less regulatory barriers in order to get the product into the market. But we took this to Global Gaming Expo after the pandemic with a view to market research and hearing how the market would respond to this product for land-based expansion, obviously the biggest part of the market. And I was literally having casino managers pulling at my shirt, asking me how fast they can get this product onto their floor. Many of them had closed their poker rooms just because of the pandemic, and the dealers had left or moved on, or just simply from a shortage of dealers or just the expense of dealers. It just became difficult to offer poker. And I had one, just to really hit home the problem that we solve, had one poker manager take me aside, actually a general manager of a mid-sized casino in Oregon. And he said to me, Matt, do you know why I'm so interested in that? I said, tell me. He said, I want to shut my poker players up. And what he really meant when he was saying that is these casinos have poker players that are looking to play poker. It's no longer available in the casino. So this manager basically looked at me and he said, I have two options here. I can go back and buy all the chairs, buy all the tables, hire people with all the headaches and the expense that comes with hiring and managing a whole fleet of dealers in order to offer poker, or I can offer Jackpot Blitz. That is the problem we solve at Jackpot Digital. Now, again, we not only allow casinos to offer poker once again at a much lower cost, a fraction of the cost is what they used to, which serves that existing traditional poker player market. But also, we're in conversations with some of the largest casino operators in the world that are looking to adopt our product. And the thing they've said to us is they know they're leaving dollars on the table right now in their poker operations. Sure, there's a traditional poker player, which they're serving right now, but there's also a younger tech-savvy player. There's people who have learned and enjoy playing poker online and really like the speed of online poker, which is something that you can get on Jackpot Blitz in-house on a Jackpot Blitz table at the casino. Casual players, beginning players, players who are only looking for tournaments. Suffice it to say, I mean, there's a large poker market out there that is currently underserved. Our casino customers tell us what Jackpot Blitz does is it allows them to not only serve the traditional poker player, but also not leave dollars on the table and serve the entire poker market. I'm going to turn things over to the CEO of Jackpot Digital, back to Jake, so he can speak a little bit about the benefits of what Jackpot Blitz has become affectionately known as the friendly table, because there's really no source of conflict. There's no errors at the table. So Jake, I'll let you cover this slide.
Thanks, Matt. So from a business side, from an operator side, the Jackpot Blitz makes all the sense in the world. But it's not going to work if you don't win the hearts and minds of the players and the product is adopted. As I said, this product is a smart table disguised as a poker table, and we had to make sure that this product is constantly evolves. Just like when you bought your first smartphone, but they've been improving the product at all times, and that's what we've been doing with this product. Our first and foremost goal was to build the best poker experience for the player, because without that, you're not going to have a successful business. It's most important that the players adopt this product, and they are doing that because of several different reasons. The traditional argument we used to hear was, well, what about players that are used to a live dealer, real cards and chips? First of all, we're in a new era where many people have been playing online poker for many years, and those same players that play live poker have been playing online. And so they're very familiar with the interface of our product. Second, the fact that we can play more hands per hour, offer different types of games that you wouldn't otherwise have in a bricks and mortar casino, gives more variety and choice to the players. Then there are no disputes. There are virtually no mistakes on our table. In fact, there are none. So there is no conflict. Furthermore, there's other advantages with the table. That are, for instance, there's no tipping the dealer. So there's a lot of money that goes out of that gaming ecosystem from the tips. In this case, it either is in the players' pockets or in the casino's treasury, because that money stays within the gaming ecosystem. So there are many different advantages, but I can't stress how important it is to continually evolve this product and enhance more features and customization to make this a better product on a monthly basis. And that's what we strive to do. The most important thing is we wanted to focus on being the best poker experience on the electronic table game product market in the world, and that's what we have. We have no competition, and so we have a chance to have a global footprint with this product. And it's very important that we keep our focus in making the best poker experience, and that is what is helping us lead our industry in this particular sector, and slowly also building a moat around the business. Next slide, please, Matt. So what our biggest issue right now is licensing. The bottleneck of licensing. This is a very onerous industry when it comes to licensing, but we're no different than all the other companies. And we believe we're on our pathway to enormous footprint globally. This is what we believe we can achieve in the next 3 to 4 years is 1,100 tables. We currently have about 60 tables in the marketplace right now, but we have a lot of demand for the product. Our bottleneck is licensing, and I'm pleased to say we just got licensed in the state of Mississippi. Now there's different types of licensing. There's the licensing for the product, which you have to go through industry certification, or called GLI certification, and also the company. And I'm pleased to say that we've just got approved in Mississippi, and we have several other states on the way, which I'll refer to in a moment. But we believe with the demand and the initial interest that we're seeing right now, we can get to 1,100 plus tables in the next 3 to 4 years. And we believe we might even get there sooner, depending on how quick we can get licensing done. We believe we have an opportunity to have a global footprint, and we are doing everything we can to accelerate that development. Next slide, Matt. As you can see from this map, in the green, we've already received licensing. In some cases, we're not operational. In some cases, we are. And I'll explain that in a moment. We're also waiting approval in a couple of states. There is 3 types of sectors of our business. There's the cruise ship industry, where when you're 3 miles offshore, you don't need any specific licensing. You have the tribal market, which is becoming a very hot market, and almost half of the industry right now in North America. And we're doing quite well there, and you'll see that in a moment in a different slide. But we're also shooting for the land-based commercial casinos that you're familiar with, like on the Las Vegas Strip and elsewhere, like New Jersey and Mississippi. And we're going through that licensing process. As I said, we were approved in Mississippi, and we're about to hopefully hear from certain other states, and we have several others pending or under process. When I talk about my frustration because we have such demand for the product, other casino executives smile and say, listen, it takes us even longer. When I complain, I'd like to be able to fill those orders in right away. But we're going through the process, and I'm pleased to say that we've been approved in every jurisdiction up to now that we've applied. And basically, the CEOs of many other companies tell me that this is just part of the process. A lot of these companies have had to go through the same and are still going through the same frustration. But I believe within the next 12 months, we'll have many more licensing jurisdictions under our belt and will be operational in those jurisdictions. So what makes Jackpot Blitz what gives Jackpot Blitz the competitive edge? And first of all, not having a dealer, having more hands per hour, etc., are the ones that grab your attention first. But the biggest health driver or success to a poker room is tournaments. Tournaments provide a lot of liquidity, and our product has an inherent competitive advantage that no bricks and mortar casino can match. For instance, we can run tournaments nonstop. There's all sorts of types of tournaments, as you can see the different types on the screen. But we can run a 300-person tournament where it would take 30 dealers. Well, with our product, you don't need one dealer. So you can have all sorts of tournaments that are operational and drive traffic to the room and will give you an everlasting success with that volume. You're able to do that with the Jackpot Blitz. And the fact that the casinos that are now modeling their operations towards free rolls and other tournaments to drive traffic in are seeing the most results with our product. The fact that you can run tournaments nonstop, 24/7, gives an inherent competitive advantage that no bricks and mortar casino can match. So what we plan on doing is continually improving not only the table, but with a special angle towards tournaments so that we can drive traffic and have that card room populated at all times. Go ahead, Matt. In addition, we wanted to make this, like I said, a smart table. There's many other things that you can do when you're not involved in the hand. What we've done is we've had many different side games or such as baccarat, blackjack, video poker. Think of this as, again, your smartphone or a smart table, and where we add more content and more customization. That being said, as much as we want to do that, we still want to deliver the most important thing to our players, the best poker experience. And by doing that, we want to add more customization to specific poker games, adding games that are traditionally hard to deal or longer to deal with a live dealer, but also side bets on the actual poker hand. For instance, bet the flop or bad beat jackpots, all linked into one massive jackpot. So what our goal is to continually enhance the product from a poker perspective first. By doing that, we would have won the hearts and minds of the players and making the best poker experience possible out in the marketplace. And what we intend to do is add more customization and more enhancements at all times with our own internal tech team here in Vancouver. The other thing I wanted to point out is it's very important that we listen to the customers. We get a lot of feedback that they'd like this built or this feature built, and we continually enhance that product by listening to the casino, the patrons, and the operators themselves. When we believe we have a chance to make this product a worldwide product globally in all casino floors. For instance, with this product, you can only play poker so many different ways. Our advantage is our first to market entry and our expanding global footprint. We have several competitors in the ETG space, and they're all giants, and they're not involved in the poker market. And the reason for that is they can't use their large banks where they can outbid us for Price is Right or Jeopardy, or those famous movie titles or game shows that they put on slots or other ETGs. With poker, you can only play it in a certain way. So if we continue to add more customization and enhancement, they can't build a product that's any better than ours or operates any differently. So if we can continually enhance this product we're building a moat around the business and giving us an opportunity to have a global monopoly and a Goldilocks opportunity with a global footprint with our Jackpot Blitz product.
Yeah, and if I could add to that real quick, Jake, these side bets and mini games that are, we're bringing to the table. One thing that I was talking to a very significant operator based in Las Vegas just at the last gaming show we were at last week. And he said this is genius, the idea of having these side bets and mini games available on the poker table. The reason is poker is mostly downtime. If you think about a poker game, most of the time you're folding or you're just waiting your turn. So these little mini games that you see on screen here, the players can pop these up on screen and play them while they're engaged in a hand of poker, which significantly increases the amount of revenue that a casino can get from a poker player. And as you can see right in the title, it allows them to monetize that downtime. Sorry, Jake, I just wanted to make that point.
Next slide. Go ahead, Matt.
So the growth drivers for Jackpot Digital are pretty straightforward. As I said right at the outset, up until recently, we were largely operating on cruise ships only because there's no license required. As I said, a couple of years ago, or a few years back, when we were reopening from the pandemic, we had a tremendous amount of demand for this product from land-based casinos. Unfortunately, at that time, and this was back in 2023, the casino managers would ask us if they could get this product like yesterday. And then their second question would be, do you have ticket in, ticket out functionality? And what that is, you can see the image on your screen. That's the ability for players to fund their play by putting cash into the machine or to cash out and get a ticket like you see on the picture there and bring it over to another machine on the floor, like a slot machine, insert that ticket and keep playing in the casino. At the time, and this was a few years back, we didn't have that functionality on the table. So we endeavored to redesign the product and introduce ticket in, ticket out, which was absolutely essential and required to be on the land-based market. We finally got the certification for that and introduced our very first next generation Jackpot Blitz table into the market last year in 2024. And those were what I would consider to be the early adopters of the product. Now, fast forward to 2025, we're really starting to accelerate. We're getting bigger orders. We're getting orders from bigger names. And we're getting the licenses necessary to execute on our PENN Entertainment master deal. So things are really starting to pick up for Jackpot Digital now that we're basically at an inflection point as a company from a slow-growing cruise ship-only product into a land-based exposed product that's certified for land-based with the ticket in, ticket out functionality that all the casinos want. So we're really starting to accelerate in 2025 and beyond. And of course, on the cruise ship side of things as well, we're growing quite well. We've not only have our customer Carnival Cruise Lines, but we also have Royal Caribbean, which we announced a deal with them prior to the pandemic. That's now been reinvigorated, and we're testing on board Royal Caribbean ships as well right now. So with the success of that testing, we're hopeful to be able to install across the entire fleet with Royal Caribbean, which would be a nice feather in our cap and a nice boost in revenue for the company as well. So expanding in land-based casinos, getting new cruise ship clients as well. And you can see at the bottom there the launch of new games. Jackpot Digital just did introduce at the last Global Gaming Expo our very first house bank game. So this would be a table game similar to blackjack or baccarat. It's called Blitz Heads Up Challenge. It's essentially like an ultimate Texas Hold'em table game, one of the most popular table game variants out there on the market. And that's the beauty, as Jake said, of having a 75-inch touchscreen that's essentially like an iPad or an iPhone, but a much bigger one, obviously, and a GLI certified, gaming certified device for use on casino floors. But this is a massive iPad that you can put anything on, and we're always adding new content, whether it's the side bets and the mini games for the poker game itself, or new house bank table games that casinos can use on their table game floor as well. So lots of avenues for expansion. Land-based expansion is obviously our primary focus. We're looking to expand our cruise ship business as well, and enter into new gaming markets as well. So plenty of growth drivers coming forward for our company. I want to finish off here my segment of this presentation with a testimonial from one of our longest standing customers. This is one of our first land-based customers. It's called Three Rivers Casino Hotel. You can see it's a beautiful mid-sized property in the state of Oregon. And you can see basically what this customer is saying is, you know, they had a poker room, and after COVID couldn't reopen the poker room, and we're looking for a solution. I'll tell you another anecdote that happened here actually at this past gaming show. The CEO of Three Rivers came up to me and he said, "Matt, you've never met me before. I just wanted to say thank you." And I said, "Oh, okay, why?" And he said, "Well, my gaming director, Rick Ray, came up to me a couple of years ago. He said, I would have put 5 of these machines in our former poker room." And the CEO said to me, he goes, "Matt, I got to be honest, I wasn't sure they were going to work. I didn't think the old people would play them and all this kind of stuff." And he said, "Man, was I wrong. They play them like no tomorrow. It's really revitalized their poker room." And it goes back to the beginning of the presentation. To have a winning product, you need to be able to solve a real problem out there in the world. We do that with the Jackpot Blitz, and that just continues as we look to expand more into the land-based business.
So, in summary, what I wanted to go over, why Jackpot Digital as an investment. Well, we're the number one in our space, in our sector, in our industry. In fact, there are no competitors. We have an opportunity now to expand our footprint globally. We are seeing a lot of demand for the product, and the environment and market conditions have never been better. After COVID, there's been an enormous demand to revitalize poker because of labor shortages, inflationary pressures. Poker hasn't been a profit center. But with our product, that can happen. Second of all, the product, its time has come. More importantly, people, the technology has caught up with what market expectations are. Second, there's a new era or generation of players now that are used to digital games. So all that coupled with our innovation and our customization and our continued dedication to make this company poker focused, even though we want to add as many side games and other bells and whistles to the product, the most important thing we want to focus is the poker experience. And we have our own internal team to continually build product and improve our product constantly. What we're seeing now is finally a lot more demand for this type of product because ETGs in general are now more embraced and accepted, and very shortly should be more than 50% of the market, we believe, in a couple of years, if not sooner. And with our poker product, where there is no competition, and the fact is the players are demanding for this type of product. As soon as they play this, they fall in love with it. The adoption is getting there, and it's just a question of time to have this product in every casino that offers poker, or at least we should try to do that. Next slide, please, Matt. This is our current board has been together for the last 20 plus years. We also had many different personnel here in the company that have served the company for many years, including programmers that have been here for more than 20 years. So we're a small, tight company that has a lot of aspirations globally with this product, and we believe we have a shot at it, and we have a management team dedicated and passionate to try to make that happen. This is a list of many of the different licenses that we've received. The vast majority of them are tribal licenses, and those are the type of licenses that we're going after that happen a lot quicker, simply because they seem to move a little faster at the tribal level. However, that being said, we feel that we're making great inroads at the state and provincial level as well with the lottery corps. We're licensed in Ontario. We are actually operational in Quebec here in Canada, and in the United States, we have the state of Maine, and the state of Mississippi approved, and we are now underway with many other different applications throughout the commercial level in different states. We're very excited about improving the certifications and continually adding on to them. And we believe this is a unseen moat by many investors. The company is one of those unique Goldilocks companies where this business is very hard for any small or medium-sized operator to get involved, simply because you have to, catch up not only with the technology but also the licensing. So the more of a footprint you can get on the licensing, the more of a moat it creates, because it's very difficult for someone else to come knock you off the shelf space, so to speak, for poker. And so if we can continue to enhance our footprint from the licensing standpoint and improve our product, I think we'll have a very dominant and monopolistic position for a very long time coming. So in summary, as I said, it's not every day you get a chance to invest in the number one player in its space in the industry. You can do that with Jackpot Digital. Our product has an opportunity to have a global presence within the next 3 years. We're seeing enormous expansion throughout North America, and we're now seeing a lot of interest in Asia and elsewhere, and Europe as well. Our focus is now to continue to enhance our licensing footprint. I'm pleased to say that we have a dedicated individual who just handles licensing, something that we didn't have before, to complement what we're doing as a company, improving the product, getting the story out to the investment world. And we're hoping that we will become an industry juggernaut and investment darling in a very short period of time. Thank you. And I'll go back to Craig to open it up for questions.
Thank you, Jake and Matt. Yes, we are now going to take your written-in questions. We can only take written-in questions today, so please don't use the raise hand button, but please take any questions that you have and type them into the text box. First, click the Q&A button and then type in your question into that text box. Question number 1 here, gentlemen. Please describe the advantage of dealing with Loto-Québec. I understand that they are the operator of Quebec-based casinos, so province-wide rollout could occur relatively quickly.
Well, it's a very big testament that Loto-Québec went with our product, with the Jackpot Blitz. We have enormous aspirations in growing our product with them, in collaboration with them. We're part of a much larger poker game plan, or a 10-year plan is what they called it, to build their poker and increase their poker share of the market, even though there's a lot of illegal games going on. But with our product, with certain advantages that our product has, they believe they can combat and win back a healthy market share from the illegal card rooms, etc. But the fact that they're not only the licensor but the operator, we have an opportunity to, what every business would like, is a partnership with government. And dealing with them up to now has been very pleasant, and we're very excited. The potential of that market is enormous for us, and we're carefully building that out slowly with them. And we're very excited about what I believe will be a very significant market for Jackpot Digital.
Please quantify more games per hour. 10% more? 15% more?
Well, the traditional, for instance, traditional Texas Hold'em has about 28 to 33 hands per hour, whereas our digital table, Jackpot Blitz, does anywhere from 43 to 50 hands per hour. So that's what we've seen as far as the data. And in certain other games, like as Omaha, the numbers are even more favorable using the Jackpot Blitz.
How do you make money? Sale of tables or revenue share?
Well, we do sell the tables in certain instances, but our preference is to do licensing deals where we have a recurring revenue model. So what we'll do is we'll partner up with the casino, where we'll put the table on their casino floor, and we're allowed, in different, depending on the jurisdiction, we get a portion of the revenue generated by the table. So our preference would be the recurring revenue model, but we are open to both. But the vast majority of our economic model and business plan is the recurring revenue model, and it's great for the casinos. They really like that model as well. There's very little, if any, investment on their part, and they only pay us when they make money. So that's music to their ears, and we're partners in a sense that we want both the same thing, the success of the product. And I believe that that model is going to serve us well economically.
What is the average revenue per table per month?
That's a very good question, and we're just understanding that because it depends on the type of operator. For instance, the cruise ships are a little different because they're not open 24/7 like a regular casino would be. In regards to a regional casino where people are dedicated to go to the casino specifically to play poker, and there's 24/7, we expect a bump in the numbers. However, we're anticipating, projecting, and based on some historical data, we anticipate the regional or land-based casinos to be anywhere between $2,000 to $4,000 a month, or a fixed fee equaling that amount.
Thank you, gentlemen. Ultimate Hold'em is my favorite table game. I always have to wait for a seat at my casino because of its popularity. Do you think your offering of this game in a digital format is almost a bigger opportunity than actual poker games, or will other ETG providers compete on Ultimate Hold'em?
Matt, you want to take that one?
Yeah, I think it is. There's absolutely the potential for this to be bigger than poker. We don't forget who we are as a company. Quite frankly, as a tiny little company like us competing with behemoths, it's incredible that we're able to get the precious casino real estate floor space that we are able to get because we lead with poker. And so poker is kind of in our DNA and our genesis, if you will. But with that being said, the feedback that we got from the initial introduction, the market research version of the Ultimate Texas Hold'em version that we have, which is called Blitz Heads Up Challenge, was very, very good. And I think the reason it is because the casino world has never really seen a form factor like you see at this table. It really does replicate that same social experience that players have come to enjoy when they come to a poker room, or sorry, when they come and sit down at a table game. Like when you sit down at a blackjack table or an Ultimate Texas Hold'em table, you kind of get used to the idea that there's going to be other people sitting next to you, elbow to elbow, having a couple of chuckles, maybe some drinks, and playing some cards against the house. And that's what the Jackpot Blitz form factor really replicates. You can sit down at the table and it's got that same feel as the traditional poker, or so the traditional table game. Unlike a lot of the ETGs that you see out there, which you can see typically isolate the player, so they're just kind of sitting there by themselves, just like they would playing at a slot machine, for example. So we are very excited about the promise of introducing this new product, a house bank game. The feedback was tremendous. It's still early days. We're probably 12 months away from being able to introduce this product into the market, potentially a little bit longer than that. But yeah, definitely overall, the table games business, the house bank games business is a much larger market segment than the poker segment, obviously. So there's a tremendous amount of potential there. There's also some challenges, but we're ready for those challenges. And the thing that you see is that we had that benefit of form factor. It's familiar to sit down and play a table game on our form factor that other of our competitors simply do not have at this time.
Just a quick story. We just came back last week from Las Vegas, the G2E conference for the gaming industry, and we had an operator come visit us because of the Ultimate Texas Hold'em announcement we made, and they were very impressed with the product they saw. But what was interesting was they said not only would they want that product, it brought them in and they saw the poker product, our Texas Hold'em and Omaha product, and they liked it so much that they're looking to license the product in for the time being. So that's what I said. We want to make it a very much poker focused company, but add more games because it's adding more traffic and interest. And in the meantime, people are coming and discovering what this table is all about.
Thanks very much, gentlemen. We are at the top of the hour. Normally, we would wrap up around this time, but there has been an unusually high level of interest today. We have a lot of people on. We have a whole bunch of questions still out there. I'd like to ask, gentlemen, that we extended a few minutes and that you keep the answers. I know it's hard. Keep the answers. But let's just get through as many as we can by keeping the answers a little short.
Sure.
It's not a criticism. I mean, you've done great. But now we got so many more people here that would like a little answer, and let's see what we can do for them. All right, so here you go. What are the local or federal governmental hurdles you face that may slow rollout and licensing?
Well, the licensing is basically the different lottery corps here in Canada or lottery commissions, and in the States, the different gaming commissions in each respective state. We have to go through that process. The frustrating thing is each state or province has to have their own. They go through the same process, even though the questions and the process is virtually identical. There's not one national body like the SEC for securities in the United States. Each state has their own, and it's just time and money and energy, and you have to go through that process. But we're no different than any of the other companies, and that's the largest frustration many companies have, and that's indeed our largest bottleneck because the demand and interest is there. We just have to go through the process.
I'll just add to that. As we go through each process, we get better at it, and that's just a simple fact of it, that we use a service that aggregates all the application information. So the first one's the hardest, the second one's a little easier, and it gets easier and easier after that.
Do you have poker tournament software that can be used today?
Yes, absolutely. Those tournaments are happening right now, and the operators that are utilizing that tournament software are seeing the best results and the biggest increases in traffic. And that is something that we will continue to do. And I would tell you right now that don't be surprised to see our tables utilized in tournaments as specific events in the future.
Any manufacturing delays or parts shortages to deal with?
Well, we've always got the regular challenges with manufacturing, but for the most part, we've been able to have a steady stream of tables manufactured. One of the questions we hear a lot are, what about the tariffs? It's still to be determined how they're going to affect us. Until now, there hasn't really been a big dent in any of the business or the process of the manufacturing, and we expect that to stay that way. We just had a good conversation with our manufacturing partner at G2E, who also manufacture for many others in the industry. By the way, we have an exclusive with them where they can only manufacture electronic dealers poker tables for us and no one else. So at this point, it's just regular challenges. Sometimes you get a broken screen, but there's really nothing unusual than anyone else would be facing.
Final question, gentlemen. Is licensing in Europe like the pharmaceutical industry, where central approval allows sale in any EU country, or like the US, do you need to get approval in each separate state? And that's
Great question.
Actually, I can address that.
Go ahead, Matt.
It's actually a hybrid. So there is no central approval in the EU. It just goes jurisdiction by jurisdiction. But so many of the jurisdictions we've encountered there, and we're in the process of dealing with several agreements right now to deploy tables in Europe, is fairly easy. And we were actually surprised by the sort of casual nature of some of these jurisdictions. Others are a little bit harder, but overall, it's a hybrid. It's not as centralized, and it's not necessarily as strict as it is in many of the states in the U.S. So that's fertile ground for us. We have a lot of demand in Europe, and more to come.
Thank you very much, gentlemen, for going over time there. We'll wrap up with some ways to get in touch with Jackpot Digital. You can call us at 1-800-RedChip or email us at jpotf@redchip.com. Visit RedChip's investor information page for Jackpot. It's jpotfinfo.com. There you can view and download the investor presentation and fact sheet and sign up for news alerts on Jackpot Digital. Watch Small Stocks, Big Money, RedChip's program featuring exciting small cap companies every Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern on Bloomberg USA. And finally, join RedChip's next webinar with 60 Degrees Pharmaceuticals on Wednesday, October 22nd at 4:15 p.m. U.S. Eastern. Register for all RedChip webinars at redchip.com/events. Thanks again to our many participants today, and thank you very much, Jake and Matt.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.